Hello, welcome to this week's How's the Market, Pensacola. Well, the foreclosure crisis is here. Not. If you've listened to me say anything over the past year, you know that I keep talking about these forbearances are not going to turn into a foreclosure crisis. I actually wrote a blog a couple of days ago about 4 reasons why it wouldn't. One, there's most of the economy, most people, homeowners, have like 50% equity. So they would just refi or sell. That was actually 2 of the reasons. The banks are not wanting the houses. But here, I wanted to bring up on the part of this show is that looks like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is coming out with language that will penalize banks if they expedite a foreclosure over offering modifications. I did a few things here. It says the proposed rule is going to be a special pre-foreclosure review period that is generally going to prohibit servicers from starting foreclosure until after December this year. All right. They're actually going to have penalties. Mortgage companies are going to have penalties if they start foreclosure when other options have not been explored. All right. Loan modifications are going to happen. Loan alterations. Everybody that I have talked to that has come out of that forbearance period has just wound up saying, all right, we're going to take this. You're going to make 3 payments, and then we're just going to take it and tack it onto the end of the loan. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago where there's just a balloon. So that doesn't require any paperwork filed with the county. If you do an actual loan modification, then you have to file some paperwork down at the county because that extends the payments all the way out. And since the end of the loan was set when you sign the loan documents, that actually winds up going out some. So it's not difficult though. What you wind up doing is making a couple of payments and then you put it towards the end. Now, refinances are going to be a thing because sometimes it's going to be easier because you're a lower interest rate. You may have been at 4.5%, 5.5% when you bought the property, and now rates in the high 2s, low 3s. Maybe a refinance would make sense because then you just catch up and start over. The 30-year mortgage just starts over. So I don't know. I just want to point out that the people that are preaching right now, we're about to have a foreclosure crisis because the forbearance, they're wrong. I'm going on record, they're wrong. We're not going to have a foreclosure crisis because of the forbearance. We're not going to have a foreclosure crisis because of inflation. That was something that I saw over the weekend. There were some people said that we have not factored in inflation into a foreclosure crisis. If you read the article, and I've told you guys, watch headlines, because headlines are going to be very deceiving right now. Watch your headlines. They brought up the guy that made a ton, I can't remember his name right now, but made a ton of money shorting housing, right, in 2007. They brought up, he made a ton of money. And now he's like, well, there's a bubble here. But if you read what he said, the actual transcript of what he said because of inflation, we're going to see these things slow. Now, because he said the term, the trigger word, bubble or slow, the headline reads almost like clickbait, foreclosures coming, housing bubble imminent. No, it just means we're going to slow down. We're not going to get the 10% or 12% appreciation we got last year. Last year was crazy. We got some crazy appreciation. I think that's going to slow. I think we're going to come back down to the 2, 3, 4%, which is what I prefer, honestly. I own real estate. So am I complaining we had a 10%? No. But I would prefer a normal market. I would prefer when we're doing this show, me showing you price points that are sellers, neutrals, buyers, even hyper sellers and hyper buyers. That is a normal market with normal appreciation. And I think that's what's going to happen. Will we have a year, maybe in the next 10, where there's slight depreciation? Sure. But today's Wall Street Journal was talking about 4 million homes need to be built just to catch up. It's an inventory problem. So even if we take low interest rates off the table, we still have an inventory problem. So right now, let's just go back to our basic 8th grade economics. Low supply, high demand. We don't have a foreclosure crisis coming. We don't. I have talked about this for a year and a half, and I will continue to beat this drum until all of a sudden it starts getting out there. But I guess there's just so many people that are knee-jerk reaction from 2008, 2009 that this just becomes easy clickbait. So watch your headlines. All right, that's good for the macro right now. Let's get to our 2 counties and see where we're at for this week. Let's go. All right, if you've never seen the show, then you don't know that I always start the show off with this slide right here. It says if we have between 6 and 7 months worth of inventory, we have a neutral market. Anything greater than 7 months worth of inventory, we have a buyer's market. Anything less than 6 months inventory, we have a seller's market. What the slide doesn't say, anything greater than 9 months is considered a hyper buyer's market. Anything less is considered anything less than 3 months is considered a hyper seller's market. We jump over to Escambia County, and if you remember last week, everything over 550 was a seller's, not a hyper seller's. Well, it looks like this 650 to 700. A couple of them went under contract, dropping us back down to a hyper seller's market. But 550 to 650 is considered a seller's. 700 creeped up just a little. Not much, because this was over 5.5 months not too long ago. So it's come down from there, but it creeped up a little bit from last week because I think it was 3.6. So it's a seller's market, and everything else in Escambia County is a hyper seller's market. I know last week we had 300 active. Right now we have 296 active as of the pull of this report. In Escambia County alone, these price points, these first-time home buyers, look at this, 200 to 250. There's only 0.2 months worth of inventory. The biggest number of inventory is 250 to 300, and because of the appetite with it, there is only a half a month's worth of inventory. So that's Escambia County. Let's sneak over to Santa Rosa County. Again, we still have nothing under $50,000 in Santa Rosa County. Looks like I got two that have come out of the hyper sellers price points and into the sellers only. That's the 6 to 650 and the luxury 700 plus. Besides that, 217 active, which means we got more inventory than we did last week. Last week, if I'm not mistaken, that was 180 something, either 180 or 190. I know it was under 200. So that's at least good to see. That's a positive there. I guarantee it's getting gobbled up just as fast as it comes on the market. And as you can see right down this row right here, this is the list to sale ratio, 100%, 101%, 100%, 100%, 100%. So it's selling at 100% to list, if not higher. Everything's still a hyper seller's market. This is why, and I've done this show for 2 years now, right? So we can see the inventory levels. That's why I'm telling you that these headlines saying we're going to be in a foreclosure crisis because of a forbearance are just false. They just are. All right, look, if you're looking at doing anything in the next 6 months, 12 months, 3 months, now, whatever, give me a shout. We've got a couple of options. We've got a couple of programs that we've rolled out. One has been the Certified Pre-Owned Home Program. I'm seeing a lot of success with that. We're actually getting well above what we're asking for when it becomes certified pre-owned, because not only do we have an inventory crisis, but I take a lot of the questions out for the buyer too. So you do things like that, and it just makes all kinds of sense for the buyer to come in and offer you what you're asking, if not more. So we got the certified pre-owned. We got instant offers that have come out. I've had a few people reach out from the show asking about instant offers. Both of them had inherited the property. Had not lived here in years. And so they were like, what's an instant offer? What can we get right now? And I told them, if we come on the market, it'd be better. But if you need an instant offer, you just want to be done with it, then this is what we can do. Because I have a pool of investors looking to do that. So we've got certified pre-owned. We've got instant offers. We've got a range of programs that we can work with. So if you're looking at doing anything, let me know. Reach out. All right. I think that we celebrated last week. No, we didn't. We did not, because I remember asking last week. I remember asking last week if you hadn't subscribed, hit subscribe, because we were trying to get to 1,000. Thank you very much. We got to 1,000. So I can start going live now on YouTube. So if you have subscribed, make sure you hit notifications, and I'll actually start going live when I'm out and about doing some property stuff, so that you can get that going on. And we have the education corner coming up. So I got the real estate education corner where I'm going to be talking about just educating, just quick blips. We're going to be doing a podcast, and then I might be showing some quick videos there as well. So thanks for watching. Have a great week. I'm a man on a mission. My mission is to help people break through all the noise out there. And don't need no permission. I want to help you get to actual truth. Don't you just want the truth?